Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. We have witnessed one of the craziest days in CDL history today. It is no exaggeration to say. From start to finish, some insane matches at the World Championship itself, but also a Challengers player, and last year a pro, as he was back then, banned from competing due to seemingly hacking and cheating live on stream. Unbelievable scenes. Hell broke loose as a result of this, as you can understand. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, and let's dive right in. We will get to the Drazah and the Thieves thing in a second, but we have to begin with the Rookie of the Year crown today. My understanding is the MVP is going to be announced tomorrow. You might be able to guess who that's going to be, but the Rookie of the Year was hands down Scrappy, especially on his performance to date as well. Really lived, I mean, this guy has been unbelievable so far this season. It is great to see the progress he's making. The difference between Scrappy and Drazah is definitely, given they like to talk trash, interesting to note as a result of how this tournament is going so far. First of all, though, we've got to talk about this hacking stuff. 1,500 accounts banned today in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone, a ban wave they bring with Ricochet. I'd have thought maybe it'd have been more if this was completely automated, but whatever. They were banning accounts. One of those accounts caught out was Jimbo. Now, Jimbo was on the Paris Legion last year, you guys might remember. He was also, well, he changed his name to Lau, and there was also some drama, I think, in Car War, where he threatened Kismet in a chat and then was banned for a few months from challenges. He's been doing all the tricks in the book Jimbo's pulled over the last few years. And today, he was banned mid-match. His account got banned. Now, so they were playing this series against Yeez's team, GodORX's team. They were down 2-1 and getting slammed. And then Jimbo's account gets banned mid-game. And the initial thought is like, wow, this is pretty crazy. Some people were like, damn, I knew this guy was cheating all along, and we'll get to that. But others said, well, this could be a mistake, right? It could just be the ban wave goes through, his account gets banned. You guys can actually just about see here if you zoom in on his screen, the account banned thing. I'm pretty sure that's what that says anyway, in the bottom left hand side. This reminded many, and I think for good reason, of the classic OpTic India Forsaken Word.exe drama, another legendary esports cheating scandal where Forsaken, a CSGO player for OpTic India at the time, turned up to a LAN, plugged a USB stick into his computer, downloaded a file called Word.exe pretending it was Microsoft Word, but of course it was his cheat. He got caught. The video blew up at the time. This is not quite like that, I believe, because I don't think that he was actually cheating on LAN. I mean, he's played on LAN plenty of times before, even in a professional setting, and he's been alright, but he hasn't been as good as he has been online, that is for sure, over the last season or so, at least since he dropped down to Challengers again. So I don't believe that he's been hacking on LAN, as in, I don't think he was actually cheating today, but his cheating, it seems, over the last several months has now caught up with him, and his account got banned during the series they were playing. Now, some people thought, well, give it time. We don't know why his account got banned. Could be made a mistake here, right? Doug says, I'm never wrong, I'm just early. Because he was calling Jimbo out for cheating back in like February, March this year, and there were lots of Challengers players that thought it. I expect to be crowned a Call of Duty Challenger Cup champion because it was blatant in the finals I played him online at the COD League. Doug then deletes this and says, well, I'm just going to wait for confirmation here because we don't know yet absolutely, so I don't want to throw these accusations around, but we'll see, because the implication was that he was hacking, and then relatively shortly after it was confirmed that indeed they had looked into the details, and even Karma tweets out the Word.exe screenshots from back in the good old days, and it turned out that indeed this is the case, that I think people at the venue discussed with the referees. The referees went to talk to Activision to actually look at this behind the scenes to figure out, okay, why did he get banned? Can we find out the reason? They did the due diligence, they looked into his accounts, and they notified that indeed, yes, he was banned for activities that they feel like have undisputable proof of him cheating and his account cheating over the last couple of months. So they actually replayed the map because they were like, well, his account got banned. They let him log into another account. They replayed it. They won anyway, the Omic guys they're playing. In fairness, they probably should have just given them the series dub, because when you're up 180 to 60 and you're up 2-1 and the guy lags out on the other team because his account gets banned, you've got to think that you just give that map to those guys. But whatever, they remained composed, they closed it out, and then shortly afterwards, after Jimbo said and tweeted, Activision said that unban me, no reason why I got banned. So everyone was like, oh, maybe it was just an accident, but you know what these cheaters are, you know, like that you can't trust them with anything, even anything they say obviously falls into question. And then, as I said, the discussion coming out of the venue was that indeed Activision had confirmed that he was forfeited for cheating and his entire team just got disqualified. So I'd be fuming if I'm those guys, unless you think that they knew about this, which is, it's always difficult. When you're teammates with a cheater, do you know? Is it blatant? It's difficult to say, right? But anyway, that's probably a topic for another day. But he was banned, and it's pretty certain that he was banned for cheating. Not at the actual event, but online prior to the event and to qualify for it. And that opened another entire kettle of fish. As Nero says, dropped a 1.5 in challenges, but a 0.5 in the league. And you guys didn't suspect anything. Guys, the best online player I've ever played after Anthrax, I believe, another guy that cheated a while ago. Maybe he didn't cheat, I don't know, but still thought it was a funny tweet. And then Doug says, officially, he's a hacking cheater. I knew he was hacking the entire time, and out of respect for gravity, I kept it quiet. I didn't have proof. What a loser, man. I expect Boston Academy to have a championship in the Challengers Cup. And this is incredibly important, actually, because if Jimbo was cheating during this event, as he probably was, that they won a while ago now, Challengers Cup number 7, Doug's team came second. Had Doug's team have won this, they probably have enough points to qualify for the Challengers World Championship. So Jimbo has been cheating people for months now, and whoever knows how long before that, out of not just prize money, but also out of legitimate World Championship qualification that his team has now been forfeited from. I believe it might have been Major Maniac's team that would have gone instead in this case, but as I say, if they'd have won that cup, then Boston Academy probably would have been there and wouldn't have to go through the LCQ. So, I mean, man, it really is a crazy story, and the repercussions of this, I don't know what they're going to be. I mean, if this is true, he should for sure be banned from competing again forever, obviously. But it's difficult to say, can there be any retrospective repercussions for the people that have been hard done by this? And immediately there was lots of discussions on whether there's plenty of other players that are cheating, and this is only the tip of the iceberg in terms of which players are trying this stuff. Because if a guy like Jimbo, he was in the league last year on Paris Legion, and maybe that makes him more likely to cheat in some weird way because he's now out of the league and wants to get back in. Maybe that's his motivation and his motive behind downloading the cheat and using them in these online qualifiers, thinking he was going to get away with it. Turns up to LAN, his account gets banned at the least optimal time, and he doesn't make it any further in the tourney. But he's screwed over a lot of people by doing this over the last few months. And even as Machilla says, Jimbo used a fake passport in Black Ops 4. Don't know why anyone thought he was going to be a clean player. And, well, yeah, it turns out that maybe he was bang on the money. So we're going to leave it there on the Jimbo stuff for now. Man, what a wild timeline, because we have plenty of other things to talk about. And the first of which is Thieves out of the World Championship. The defending world champions, that team of 4 is gone. Seattle Surge take them down. This was the map, I think, that did it. They had a prime position to win this one. There was literally 0.4 seconds on the clock. They captured A with 0.4 seconds left. Then it was a minute left, which you'd have thought would still be enough for Thieves to close out the defense. But somehow Pred stays alive. Mack goes massive here with 2. And I will say that Mack, when he was asked to deliver here, really did turn up, actually, in the series. Accuracy had his moments as well. They win the control. It goes game 5, and they win the game 5 as well to send Thieves packing from the tourney. Crazy storyline, actually, because Novus, the general manager of the Los Angeles Thieves, was the GM of Surge last year, built this team that have now knocked him out of the World Championship in his squads. So Thieves are gone. Incredible that Surge had only beaten Guerrillas on LAN all year. They turn up to champs, they beat the reigning champions, and they are out of the tourney. And the FU Drazah chance was starting immediately. I kind of feel bad for him on this one in a way. But look, he was talking trash going into champs. We saw the tweet a few minutes ago when he was like, see y'all at champs and all this type of stuff. Kind of backfired on him, but that's how it goes when you talk trash. You can't always expect it to go well, and this time it doesn't. I mean, this screenshot was also absolutely wild, I've got to say, coming out of Simp's mouth there, but whatever. They got the job done, and Simp played very well this series. So, LA Thieves out of the tournament. Now, I tweeted out immediately, welcome to Rostermania, because I thought they were going to make changes before this tournament anyway. I was 95% confident. I'm now 99.9% confident they're going to make some moves, because there were plenty of reasons already. The salaries that Thieves maybe don't pay quite as much as other teams, the fact they're all unrestricted free agents and might get poached, in addition to the fact that now they've placed top 8. Will they even want to stick together? I know people are saying, oh, there's no upgrades and all this, but I'm sure that they've got to change, surely. There's too many factors pointing in that direction, especially with this pretty disastrous result, it's got to be said. Top 8 for the reigning world champions, that's not what they wanted. It's difficult enough to go back-to-back. They broke the champs curse or whatever by winning Major 4, but come champs, they just couldn't deliver. And Kenny had a tough series again, man. Had they played OpTic at some point, I'm sure Kenny would have been frying, but again, has a tough one. And yeah, just the way this series went will make people think, damn, if they are going to make an off-season roster change, like if you're Thieves, if you're a Thieves fan, if you had to keep 2 of these players out of the 4, which 2 would you keep? You'd probably say Octane and Envoy right now. So that does raise some interesting questions for what the other guys might do, or what could potentially happen to Kenny here though, but that's going to be a topic for another day. Nature was, you know, he was having a hard time. He was absolutely going through it, but he regained afterwards and they got to enjoy a great series going forwards, because then it was the Minnesota Rokkr going out of the tournament. They got done and dusted by Boston. This was incredibly impressive, I thought, from Boston. It's kind of funny how when Awakening has great numbers, but it has like 10 seconds in the hardpoints, they lose. But when he has 2 minutes in the hardpoints, they win. This is, you know, what they may have finally figured out here. And I was impressed by Boston this series, absolutely. Snoopy was looking really good early on, but in the latter half of the series, it was the ARs that turned up. And again, it's got to be said with Rokkr OUT, the way they collapse is pretty tragic. Like, they did the same thing a couple of times now at Majors, where they've made the winners finals, and they've just got bopped out 2 back-to-back series, usually by great teams. This time they go up 2-0 against New York, get reverse swept, then they play Boston, a team you really should be beating, and they go down. So yeah, top 8 result for them, good result for Beans, and also there was additional drama here, because Beans was talking to those guys about, oh yeah, sound EQ merchants, right? Because that was when they played at their home series, that was the talking point for Minnesota, that, oh, they'd use the sound EQ on LAN, and that was why they were good, and the talking point was, you know, we don't need it to beat you guys. Turns out they beat you guys without it. So that is definitely pretty spicy, and I kind of forgot that there was this whole beef going into this series, because there was so much other stuff going on, but that really just puts a cherry on top. And I mean, look at this, Awakening and Beans, very similar damage, similar KD-ish, I mean, like, same kills. Good bounce back series from Kremp, rough time for Fame and Cammy, and yeah, Attach and Bance out of the tourney top 8. Is that going to be Bance's last appearance at a championship? We don't know, but you know, it's going to be tricky. Like, Rokkr are going to clean house, clearly. They might keep 1 or 2 players. I think their coaching staff are going to go. They might be on the phone to Rambo Ray. I know that many people have raised that as a possibility. Wholesale changes I would expect there within that Minnesota camp for next season. And those are the 2 teams, Rokkr and Thieves, where the roster mania discussions are beginning. However, though, before we finish out the video, we're going to talk FaZe. I'll do the OpTic series tomorrow morning. There's been so much else that's been going on here. I wanted to get this video out as quickly as I possibly could. But Toronto FaZe, man, this was wild. And I've been at a couple of events this season where Ultra have played FaZe and they've been competitive enough theoretically going into the series, and then they always tend to fall short. This was a different story though, and I don't think FaZe actually played that bad in the series. I just think Toronto played incredibly well. Game 1 was actually quite comfortable. Scrappy was unbelievable. Game 2 was, this is FaZe's specialist map. This is like if they were playing a Celebrity Mastermind or whatever, it would be their specialist subject, Embassy Search and Destroy. FaZe tie up the series, but this is what I said about FaZe's weakness when they played Surge, right? They went up 2-0 in Surge pretty comfortably, and then they got slammed in the control. I'm pretty sure FaZe are yet to win a control round, are they not, this tournament? And that was actually one of their strengths at Major 5 compared to subliners in the final, was their better control, but it's just completely deserted them. Yes, Toronto are the best control team in the game, but to not even get close here, like, Scrap was unbelievable again this map 3, and then you go into game 4 down 2-1, and look, honestly, FaZe should have maybe won this map, but they at least should have won a hardpoint. You can't afford to lose 3 respawns to a team like Toronto. It can happen, but if you're FaZe, it should certainly not be happening. This was a grade 8 bang out map, to be honest. Simp had like 9 kills in the whole control, and he went on a 10 streak in this hardpoint raid, so he had more kills in a single streak than he did in the entire previous map. But as the game progressed here, they had a chance. This was their chance, I think. Slasher makes a great read, kills Hicksy off the head glitch at the back. aBeZy's alive, regenning health, and you look at the current mini-map here, right? We've got 1 player from Toronto around the hardpoint. That's number 1, Scrap. We've got number 3, Insight, miles away, and the other 2 have yet to even spawn up. This is the time for FaZe to capitalize. They don't go as quickly as maybe they should have done. Scrappy stays alive, gets 1. He stays alive longer. aBeZy just camps out here on this back head glitch, eventually gets gunned by Insight, and they get no time from this. This was their chance. They'd just broken P4, 40 seconds on the clock. If they get into win here, trade out Scrappy, get on the hard point, they should win this map. They don't get like any time here pretty much. It goes all the way, they get spawn trapped and they eventually lose. Hicksy makes a big play as well. And I will say with Hicksy, like I said it this morning, did I not? That if he drops a 0.6, it's sketchy. But if he drops a 0.9, they're in business, right? And that's what he did here. He dropped a 0.95 this series. He is actually a seriously big game player, I think, as well. Like, Hicksy very rarely seems to go missing in big moments in big series, and is definitely better on LAN, absolutely, as far as I'm concerned. And he had some big moments here and actually gets the final kill to close out the game. FaZe go down to losers. This never happens. Now, as FaZe say, you know, we need this one man. But wow, FaZe have been in the winners finals for like every single world championship. I don't think Simp ever has been in the losers finals. That was the tweet that came out from Breaking Point, and I was wondering this, and this is the stat. He's never not been in the winners finals at champs. He's always been guaranteed top 3. Now, they're only guaranteed top 6. They play Boston. I mean, man, if Boston beat them, could you imagine the potential rostermania implications of that? In some ways, maybe it was inevitable that eventually Ultra are going to get FaZe's number, and I don't think FaZe played particularly badly, but if their control stays as it is, they're not winning this tourney. They need to improve the control. They're not going to win, you know, they're not going to sneak by in game 5 against everyone they play, and Boston are pretty good at control as well. So, man, what a series. And Toronto, Scrappy, like, this guy is just so different. It run out of superlatives really to explain what he's currently doing in the CDL. Tough series for Simp, especially that control, and all this talk right from FaZe that they were the most confident they've ever been. They've now gone down. Is Aches right again that Ultra are going to win champs? I'd love to see it personally, right? I could collect an honorary ring or something, but there is still a very long way to go in this tournament. Plenty of storyline to get into tomorrow morning. I'll do the OpTic versus Subliners series as well. Very much enjoyed to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.